Now, going over to the political part podcast, you have a Fox News poll has Biden winning in rural America. I should have brought a pin to drop, let the pin drop on the table. I'm not sure how good the mic is for you to hear it or not, but yeah, I don't think so. It's one of those things where cities, yeah, Biden is still very popular in a lot of cities, especially the major areas like Chicago. I mean, if I were a gambling man, the odds of Chicago going Trump are not zero, but it's like 0.000725% approximately. I mean, they've been Democrat voting for almost 100 years. They're probably not going to change. But rural America, on average, is overwhelming, I would say, Republican and maybe a little libertarian in there to spice it up a little bit. And yeah, I've never seen a Biden flag in the rural area. I've driven through from time to time, especially when I'm driving out to remote areas in Texas for my tech company and visiting certain cities for projects. You see a lot of Trump flags. I've never, actually, let me know in the comments. Have you ever in your life seen a Biden flag or hat? I've seen a T-shirt for sale on X Twitter. Someone keeps trying to sell them. I've never seen one in real life. I do plan to do some field or street interviews in the future, so maybe we'll see some, maybe. But yeah, another little quick question: have you ever seen that in the real world? Now, this was brought to us thanks to Charlie Kirk over at X, in which he says, "quote Okay, I've been studying these new Fox poll, and I've concluded is a complete outlier. They have Joe Biden winning in rural voters 50 to 48% over Trump. There's no way it's possible zero. Although, what if they just import a lot of illegals into those areas? Then it's not all around possibility, which I actually not joking. It's kind of sad that that might happen, but that could be a way that happens. But again, I don't know if there's a sample for this poll. And this is again, Fox News poll. So this poll was conducted between June 14th and June 17th of registered voters with a plus or minus 3%. And it has men going 41% Biden and 56% Trump. Rural voters, 50% Biden, 48% Trump. White men with no degree, 34% Biden, 64% Trump. White evangelicals, 26% Biden, 72% Trump, which, I mean, if you're religious at all, I mean, Biden is a big fan of abortion, which, again, politically speaking, that does help him get a lot of votes, especially with the Democrats. But I'm always fascinated how religious folks who are pro-life could vote for that. But nevertheless, you have ages 65 plus, 57% vote for Biden, 42% for Trump. And you have urban, 38% Biden, 38% Trump. Then you have white women with degree, 64% Biden and 36% Trump. Which, again, as we were talking with the Disney segment of the show, a lot of those women do agree with the DEI practices and policies, conscriptions, and those types of philosophies, or whatever I call those things. And yeah, rural voters, though. And again, I've traveled mostly in the Midwest, United States. I've never seen a Biden flag. And again, not everyone's going to have a flag on their house saying who they're going to vote for. I understand that. But I would love to see more geographical data. And again, I wish they had a link to the actual study, or not study, rather the poll to see, how are they, because depending on how you frame the question, but also, what's your sample size in terms of geographical? I mean, maybe these are rural people in California. Maybe. Maybe. And again, what's the sample size? It's not a big detail. Unfortunately, we don't. Again, this is a rudimentary screenshot. I'm not seeing an actual link to it, unfortunately, because again, that would give us more data as well. Again, the bigger sample size, usually the more accurate it is. Most political polling are usually between 500 and 1,200 people, which again isn't great. But this went viral. It got 1.1 million views and 33,000 likes for Charlie Kirk, which yeah, I tend to agree with him. I think this is a statistical outlier and average. And again, there are places where Biden is still winning over Trump. There are many states that will be blue no matter what, just like there are very red states that will be red no matter what. It's fascinating to think at one time California was a Republican state and good for business. That's, I mean, today it's almost comical to think, but that at one time that was a thing. I was scrolling down. One of the first comments comes from Old School PhD saying, "Yeah, just look at all the pride flags across farmland." I got 1.3 thousand likes, which, yeah, with all the different flags these days, I don't know who's manufacturing them in China, but they are making a killing. Going down, you have Planet of Memes. Again, no memes, simply a text, but nevertheless, Planet of Memes says, "No way in hell Joe is winning with rural voters," getting 151 likes. We do have a contrarian statement, partially because I follow him. So if you follow someone, it puts him at the top of the responses, apparently. And this is Keith Aloha, which I don't know, he's a famous leftist, but I follow him because he's very much left-leaning. He describes himself as, I would say, un-American because he believes in taking guns away, but He says, vote Democrat in 2024. It will be the last time you can. LGBTQ, animal lover, pro-choice, gun reform, expand SCOTUS, no MAGA, and never Trump. So again, very much a leftist, but again, like it's a little bit boring when you're in an echo chamber, so I want to hear what he has to say. I want to say he's rudimentary, but he's not wearing a suit, of course, in his profile picture. And he has one, two. I guess it makes sense. His name is Aloha, apparently. He's got 4 pineapple tree emojis. So I didn't even know there's a thing. You put that in your name, or your profile name on X Twitter, which Aloha has to be that's just a silly name. Almost as dumb as a name like Topping. Oh, wait. I partially digress, but in all seriousness, so Keith Aloha says, quote, Charlie, why do you insist on supporting a liable predator and convicted felon who led a coup to overthrow the government? Mentally vacuous and rudimentary. However, 39 people did agree with him and like that. Now we have 6 people responded. I wonder if he got ratioed. Whoa, it went up before our eyes. It went up to 41 likes. Wasn't for me, obviously. Let's see here. Biden's Bumble coach says Keith supports a mush brain who showers with his daughter. Getting 1 like. Going down more and more. So he was not ratioed. Again, 41 people did agree with Keith. The memes says, this is the electoral map for 2022 by county. Biden isn't winning any real votes. And yeah, it is fascinating to see the whole U.S. is basically red, but in terms of county, the places there's blue is they actually have the Texas most southern border. You have probably about 50% of California. Again, this is by county, and it's fascinating. You almost have like a little line going through of Alabama, Missouri, Georgia, Carolinas, Virginia. It is, I don't know if it's a coincidence or not. That'd be fascinating to study later, but there almost is, like on the right side of the screen, you see a little line going through all those states. But I mean, overall, it's funny. Even Illinois is mostly red. However, you do have the big area of Chicago, which is very highly population dense. Although I would argue they're also mentally dense as well, voting for policies that have not worked for 100 years. But nevertheless, and of course, you have, good old Alaska being all red, and they have Hawaii, which is all blue and contributing negligible to GDP. But nevertheless, on the map, yeah, it's overwhelming red. And that got 1.3 thousand likes. Let's see here. I Love American News says, and his picture of Trump, it says, best president in my lifetime, getting 594 likes. JD Sharp says it's propaganda to keep Biden in the race. It has healthcare, democracy, and stability and normalcy as top 5 issues, and immigration only at 52%. This poll oversampled Democrats and left-leaning. I probably 35%. Again, that's his vernacular, not mine. I got 613 likes, which again is a very important thing to point out. I wish they had the URL, the link to the study, or not study, the poll for this. But yeah, the sample size you select can greatly, of course, influence the outcomes. Let's see here. Joe says, oh, phew, the community college dropout has finally weighed in. Getting 1,000 likes, another contrarian statement. And she is a mom, a Jersey. Pretty sure she's a person, but she has Jersey in her profile. A Dem, a news junkie, Lebanese. Hothead views are my own. Followed by Biden wins. All right, I'll follow her. Again, considering how inept, yeah, it's fascinating. Having a college degree used to be a point of pride. Used to be really worth something. Now I almost actually look down on someone that's because when they have a college degree because of all the BS colleges are turning out these days. And here's an example of someone who still thinks, oh yeah, college is very important. You can't have an opinion if you don't want a college degree. You need the credentials. And I think she's mostly mentally vacuous, but she did get 1,000 likes and 84 responses. Was she ratioed? No, she was not ratioed. One of the first responses was, let's see here, Doug Osborne saying, Trump set a record, winning the most counties in history by a million miles, easily exposing how fake and laughable this poll is. But keep drinking the Demtard Kool-Aid. Snowflake. Ha ha ha. Getting 25 likes. Let's see if there's any contrarian statements here. A couple more people with the maps showing the counties from the 2020 election or 2022. A couple of people have the T-shirt that says "I'm voting for a felon." Again, showing that they're gonna still vote for Trump. Bruce Bellow simply says not gonna happen, getting 81 likes. I mean, again, a couple contrarian statements, but pretty much overwhelming support, or I guess, well, support for Charlie Kirk and saying, this poll is obviously an outlier. We don't believe it, and yeah, I can't but think. The odds of that actually, rural America going by in 2024. I mean, I would love to see the Las Vegas odds on that. Again, it's not 0, what was it, like 0.00000000000000000000625% approximately, probably. I mean, let me know in the comments. Do you think rural America is going to vote for Biden? I mean, let me know in the comments. And as always, it'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.